Welcome back to the show. It's your man, Mr. Stout, holding it down right here on the Scheme Beats Radio Music Review. Got another artist right here doing this thing, man. This music right here, when I'm feeling this track, the whole thing about it, man. Like the whole package put together, man. My man doing this thing coming out of Irvington, New Jersey. The track's called MYOB. The artist is Ricky Persaud Jr. Welcome to the show, bro.
Hey, man. How's it going, man?
It's pretty well, man. Pretty well. I mean, you've been doing your thing, man. So, like, let some of the artists, but also let our listeners know about how you get your start and how'd you get to this track right here with MYOB.
So it was actually a quick story I'm going to tell that gave inspiration for the song. To put it simply, one of my ex-band members started his own group. And with this group, he was using my image to promote that group. And then all of a sudden, I got a lot of calls and a lot of emails saying, "Hey, man, I'm really looking forward to you playing at this gig." And I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" And I did the research. And I'm like, "Oh my God, this guy's using my image to promote his own brand."
Oh man!
And instead of, yeah,
That's
I know it's crazy.
Yeah.
And instead of taking out my anger on him personally, I took my frustration and I put it in the song. And that's what what the song literally means: mind your own business. And yeah, that's the story, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it has like a lot of variations and things like that in the track. Like when you hear it, like, it has change ups, which I don't hear a lot of music like that nowadays that has those different, like real playing, like musicians playing. How do you to get to the, to come up with the song or I know how way you came up with the song, but, actually have like the, when you're working in the studio, and saying, okay, this is what we're working on and the feeling of it. Because, a lot of people right now are like working with, a lot of like drum patterns or, they're not playing music as much. You know what I mean? Like they're playing like instruments. They're like, using, like digital machines. Is that something that, like tell us like how the way you was working with, because I seen you working with the guitar.
Well, I actually played all the instruments on this record.
Okay, nice.
And, yeah, and the drums, for instance, is a mixture of real drums and electronic drums, because I like that. It makes those different sounds together.
Right.
And what I made sure when I went in the studio is that when I recorded each individual track, that I gave as much emotion and much aggression as possible, because I really wanted to show the people my anger towards the situation. Mm-hmm. The angry in a way where it's not evil angry, but I'm just venting out my emotions about this particular topic.
Yeah, it kind of made me like, I was like more grooving to it. I'm listening to like, what you're saying, but I'm like more like, man, I can, can jam to this. You got like that kind of feel to it,
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, so how long you been like writing music?
So I've been writing music ever since I was 15, and my first record was actually a Christmas record that I made for friends and family.
Okay.
And funny thing, I didn't think too much of it at the time because I was just doing it as a hobby thing, but it was doing recording and arranging the stuff for the first time that made me fall in love with music. And then the next year after, that's when I released my first record, which was Welcome to My World. And jump forward to now, I've released so many albums, EPs, and so much singles, and more to come out of my camp.
Right, man. And like now, like you have like, your background, your family, like, your mother and father also played. So how was like, to come from that, like, that musical background and how did it influence you, do that?
Well, it was, I literally grew up in a guitar center, man. So it was like hard not to get into music. I mean, like playing the keyboard was like my toys growing up. I didn't,
right.
Cause I just loved it so much. And with my parents back, or, with my mother playing keyboards and flute when she was younger, and my father engineering for a lot of Caribbean acts back in the day, there was just so much instrument just at my disposal that with their encouragement, it was just meant to be,
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, that's really cool right there, man. I can remember like growing up, my dad had like an organ in the house, and we were like trying to play it, like he had like a little sounds in there, like you could play them and then you could play the chords with it. It was just like so weird, man. Like, to have that. And then I see like what made me want to like get into music, and start to play, like listening to stuff, like listen to a lot of records, coming up and a lot of radio stations. So as you like playing different instruments or having your family like that, Like, how does that, like, help you when you're doing your recordings?
Well, it's very simple that, I don't have to spend extra money on musicians because I can just do it all myself.
Right.
And it was, not to diss musicians, because having musicians is really important, but doing it yourself really shows the generosity of my music, and it's all coming from me. And it was partly due to my mother, who really encouraged me to pick up other instruments, because, so my first instrument I took professionally was drums, and I was 4 when I took that, and my drum teacher was telling me that I need to master the drums before I pick up anything else.
Yeah.
But my mother deep down that if I was just to be a master at drums and did nothing else, my marketability and just me overall as a musician would be like pigeonholed.
Yeah.
And that's when she encouraged me to pick up all these other instruments, from keyboard to guitar, the bass, the vocals, and most recently I picked up the sax.
Wow.
And yeah, I have her to thank for that.
Man. So it's like, a lot of artists can't play a lot of other instruments other than the ones that they've been trained on or practiced on. And that reminds me of, like, something like with Prince, because Prince could play like a lot of different instruments. Who inspires you, like, out there in with your work?
Well, funny thing, Prince is actually one of my big inspirations for music, but along with Prince, the Beatles, Michael Jackson, Bob Marley, Nirvana, and Jimi Hendrix were huge influences.
Right. And speaking of MJ, like you said, like I got a little bit of feel of that in there, like, in the way that you was like expressing your tone, Yeah,
one thing I really love about Michael is that when he gave like a really aggressive performance, like his vocals are so grungy, like you wouldn't expect that from a pop artist, but that's, he's, vocal wise, he's a big inspiration for what I do.
Man, that's awesome, man. Ricky Persaud is right here. So want to check in with us right here on the Skiing Beach Radio Show, right here on Skiing Beach Radio on Spreaker.com, also RenegadeRadio.com as well. Hit him up at Ricky Persaud Jr. 1.com. That's RICKYPERSAUDJR. The number 1.com, also on Twitter as well. Ricky Persaud Jr. on Instagram. On the gram, hit him up on Facebook as well. Ricky Persaud, man, all the way through. SoundCloud. This whole thing right here for MYOB, it's an album, because you actually have a couple other songs as well that's on there, like Sorry Not Sorry. And we're going to get through this, talking about the song, like, has something going on with the pandemic that we're all experiencing right now. And also, like, what had happened to the brother George Floyd.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely what that song is about. And it's basically to give people reassurance that although we're going through like a really tough time, that we're going to come up from this and be even stronger than what we were before. Yeah.
And it's a lot of people are going through some things. I don't know if you've been, we all been personally affected by this, and to be able to express that. Due to the music that's going on these days, how do you feel about like the way that things were prior to this? What we like to call it like a BC, like before Corona, and now people are getting more conscious about about their lives. But was you always writing the music like in the way that you're doing it compared to like what artists are doing now to like, okay, well, this is the temperament?
Absolutely, I always been socially conscious with the world and how it's evolving and stuff, and that's just to tell you that I'm not like some fake person just trying to cash in on the trend of what's going on. I've been doing this since literally when I was 15, because growing up in my situation and just dealing with like a little thing about my past, I dealt with a lot of bullying in middle school, and from that pain, I wanted to make sure that when I made music, that my music will nurture and help people and let them know that they're not alone in what troubling stuff they're going through.
Yeah, see, that's what they call that, a responsibility, like being artistically responsible. You know what I mean? Like MJ did do that too. Even with like all the big name artists out there, we all like idolize and watch and stuff like growing up. Like they were artistically responsible for what the music they were putting out there, the content of it, like what was being said, and I don't think that we kind of like we kind of strayed away from that. because it's like, oh, that was like the old way of thinking. But how do you feel about, like, how the way when it comes things that come to love, or even with, like, stating up on a political side, and not too much like deeply political, but more like, okay, you got to stand up for something, or you're always gonna be sitting down. Like, how do you feel about like certain things like that?
Actually, yeah, I absolutely agree with what you're saying. That there's actually a point in my time as an artist where I sat down and said, what do I want to say as an artist? What I want to contribute to the world? And that was when I had to take the initiative to try to make music that's socially conscious. Because you're absolutely right about saying that people don't do it a lot anymore. It's an old thing, but why? Why? We got to bring that stuff back, because it's now more than ever that we need that kind of music. And when I'm saying that I'm doing it, I'm not saying me alone can change the world, but I want to try to get people to rally up and other musicians to do also what I'm doing, to really make a change in the world, just like with the civil rights movement back in the 60s.
All the way. Like, contribute to that. Contribute to that positive light, trying to get that so it'll be there and maintain for a lot longer than the things that we're going through right now. We really need to have like a lot of positive things going on. And when it comes to music and stuff like that, like, it does heal. It heals people. We listen to it. We love it. If you've been listening, if you watch the charts and stuff like that, if you watch any of the charts out there, like Billboard or any charts, a lot of the positive music, or not just like this necessarily positive, but like the feel good music, has been rising on the charts again. If anybody watches the charts, these records are getting they're getting new Grammys that are coming up. Which was so, like, but that's the thing, because it's always the force of what the people make a song. You as an artist, what you like, or how the way you would feel about certain things, but to put it out there, it's just like a painting. Like you're a painter. So when you putting it out there, so people can watch that painting. So this is a Picasso, or this is something you put on on a refrigerator. You know what I mean? Right? Yeah, man. I mean, I'm just like, I'm kind of like, just going through it with you, because I really like your song that you got here, and it has a really good feeling and everything like that, man. And I'm thinking, like, for this project you're working with, people need to actually hear this. And so, like, what can they get it from off your website, or they can go pick it up on all the major digitals, or you have the like a video for it?
No, definitely. We're actually making a new music video right now that should be released within the next couple of days. But they can find my music on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, my own personal website, RickyBersaudJr1.com, and yeah, there's probably a couple of other places, but those are definitely the main places where you can find my music.
All right. Now, I mean, I'm still going back to the thing about the BC thing right there. Like, BC before COVID. Right now, was you out there performing? Like, you done like shows, or some of the places you've been at, or like any magazines or any like films or TV shows you work with?
I definitely played a lot of places around Jersey, Boston, New York, California, and that was just one of my grooves that I just really love to do.
Yeah.
It's literally one of my favorite things to do in life, and that was something I really did a lot, and it's something I'm looking forward to doing again once quarantine is over.
Yeah. So what about any like videos off your website or anything like that, like or on YouTube, where you have you guys like doing any live performances due to, like, even on IG, on Instagram, TikTok?
Absolutely, yeah. It's chock filled with performances from the past, and
love that.
And what I'm doing now with new music and stuff. They can definitely follow me on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, and all those places to find it.
Yeah, man, definitely.
TikTok, most recently TikTok as well.
Yeah. You know what? I'm trying to learn about the TikTok thing. They say they're going to switch it up, but now I'm hearing like Microsoft going to buy it now. So I don't know. The president was saying that he's going to get rid of that or something like that, or like ban it here in the States. But man, it's going to be over here now. So I might have to jump back on. I got it on the app though. I got it on the app. I just haven't really used it. But it's cool though, man. You're doing your thing, man. And I love it when somebody can like actually play music, man. Like that to me. I mean, I'm not to knock anybody who does like production. I play drums myself, and actually I'm from Georgia. I'm from the Jersey Shore too. I'm from Monmouth County. And I've been up to Irvington.
Cool,
and yeah, man. Like and being out there, we perform at the Stone Pony in
Oh man,
you know about that life, huh?
Oh man, I want to do it sometime in the future. It's a famous. We've been there several times. We've passed through there, but I haven't actually played there. But it's definitely a place I do want to perform in the future.
Yeah, I really like what Asbury Park actually did. Like, you know, as far as on the music scene, you know, lately in the past like 5 years, like I've seen a lot of like bands that out there, and they're sending artists over here because now I'm in Ohio, but I'm going back there this weekend. We'll be out there, and we going to the Stone Pony. We'll be out there to see some people, you know, and we bringing some records with us. So then that's the thing with that. Like, we'll, you know, let people know that, hey man, Ricky Persaud Jr., like he's here, man. Have you heard of this guy right here?
Thank you, man.
You know, because I like the music, bro.
Thank you so much, man.
No problem. Now, who you working with in the band? Are you with the band? So you do everything yourself, but you engineer, you mixing, you mastering, you doing. It's a one-man show.
Actually, I do have my own band that we perform out live at several places. Mostly the band is comprised of my family members, with my little brother being on the bass.
Okay.
And believe it or not, my mother plays percussion.
Oh man, you don't want to give no names? You want to give them a shout out? the family band, that is everything right there for me right now. Like the Partridge Family type thing, yo. I love that so much, man. Like, where has that been? Like, I know a group of girls, like the sisters and a couple of brothers and the twins, but like a family band, that takes me way back. I love that, man. That's official.
Yeah, man. It's like I said, they all of us are into music, especially with my brother making his own music under his artist name Lil Nicky. And
right.
Yeah, it's just I'm very blessed to be in the family that I am in right now, because, you know, a lot of kids grow up with families that don't back them of what they're doing,
right.
or, you know, at least it's just believe in them. But my family literally plays in my band, you know.
That's awesome.
I'm a blessed guy.
That's very awesome. So now, like with the videos you guys are doing out there, like our listeners can like see those videos with the family playing, with you all guys playing together.
Well, in the videos, it's like a mixture of me and my family playing and me playing all the instruments. We like to give a little of homage, like this new video is actually paying an homage to all the previous performances I had, and let people know, hey, I'm still performing, you know.
Yeah.
It's in my house. I'm still doing it.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, this is awesome though, man. So, how many tracks is on this? This is an album, right? NYOB.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So is that the song that we got right here? Is that a self-titled song for that one?
NYOB. Yes, that's the self-titled song for that encompasses the whole album.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I get that. So how many tracks is on it again?
8.
8 tracks. All right, man. Yeah. All right. So what's one of your favorite ones? Like what do you like? Like what do you recommend? You know, you the artist. Like, oh, I you know, try this right here. This one tastes good, but I like this. Like, you know. So let the listeners know, like, what's your flavor?
Aside from MYOB, and we're gonna get through this, N.G.U, which is the acronym for Never Giving Up, is one of my favorite tracks, because that song is probably the deepest song off of that album, because I'm literally talking about my dealings with depression and overcoming that. And the purpose of making that song is that I want people to know that who are going through similar things that I'm going through, that look where I am at now. I've gone through the worst of the worst, and I blossomed like a phoenix. And
right.
it just really hits home for me, because it's a big accomplishment for me.
Yeah, man. I mean, and I understand that. I actually was like, I work with some therapists out there, you know, and our team, the people that we have, is a couple of doctors that we're doing on the shows and that we have. And I actually was having a conversation about that with them like a few days ago, and about the people who do have depression, like, you know, like these days in time right now, for them to go through the things that we're going through right now in the world's time, you know what I mean? And then to be on top of that and depression is like, we have to like definitely, you know, speak like to let's make sure that they're okay, like, you know, everything is good to go. You know what I mean? Like that's a real thing right there, man. Like, that's for real. And you know, anytime, brother. Like we do over here with the radio, man. Like, look, I don't know, I'm gonna follow you on Instagram and everything like that, and you know, because it's real right now with everything. If we can't really get together and actually speak our thoughts in our minds and be a little bit more revealing to each other. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not to say like, you know, like, oh, I want to know everything about your damn life. No, I'm just saying like, you know, just say what it is that you express to me, I can relate to make it better, and say I'm not judging you. that's going to like, take our people and the world, to a level is like, okay, a little bit more compassion so that we can get through the things that we need to go through every day. That's real for me.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
All right, no doubt, man. And I see that your album cover right there. So that's the album cover right there with you with the guitar, with the look at the you got the red background, like the house is on fire. Like who inspired that? For the cover for this.
Well, it's our so we have a team of people that work with us with our marketing team and all that kind of team, and the artist that created that, we basically gave him full artistic freedom to do what he wants, and he took mind your own business, and he just thought about a burning house. I actually don't know why he chose it that way, but I just love the visual so much.
Me too. I dig it, man. I dig it. Like it definitely stands out. Like if you go in going to record shops. I know people don't go to record shops anymore, but even go like buy CDs and stuff, and you see that, or that poster, on the wall or something like that. You're from Jersey. You go up there, everybody post the bills up and stuff like that. Like you see that on there on a billboard. That's going to be like, it's going to stand out, compared to what a lot of folks are using. I like different things, man. I you know what I mean? And that's does it make me eclectic? I don't know, but I just like to hear different stuff. Like I'm going through records now. Like I done found a thing that you can download like old school music from all around the world, new school, whatever, and for sample base. And I'm like, oh man, I'm glad I'm hearing this. Like I done found me a treasure trove of music from every year. Like from when people started recording records. I love that, man. So I'm like, what do you do, like, when you not like, recording?
Well, to be absolutely honest, if I'm not recording, I'm usually writing a new song. I'm practicing my craft with vocal warm-ups and doing guitar shredding things. Because, recording is one aspect, but you got to make sure that what you're putting into the recording is top-notch. So I always make sure that I'm always practicing like at least a couple hours a day just for just vocal stuff, bass stuff, piano stuff, and guitar stuff to make sure that my craft is as polished as it can be.
Right, man. So now, are you still out there in Jersey area, or like have you like traveled to the West Coast or in the South or in Canada?
Right now, we're in Jersey, but we want to play out in those all over the world if we can. When quarantine's over.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, we got to get through this. We are working on that right there. So our things with people, if people going to like do what they need to do in order to, so we can get outside and, just follow these rules, these simple rules while you got to do what you got to do. Because me as being like on the radio, we want to be able to have artists like yourself to come out to, to perform while we do these broadcasts. We're starting it right now out here in the Midwest in Columbus, Ohio, coming up actually on the 25th. It will be the next week. But we out there in Jersey and New York City coming up for this weekend. So it's like we're going to work a little bit just to test the waters. I know it's tough, but at the same time we got to do this so then we can get artists like yourself to come out and be amongst these people so they can hear your spread the joy of performing and letting people hear that feeling of good music, man. And I would love to see this. Now, have you performed any songs live yet?
Off of this record?
Yes.
No, because this record was basically released within quarantine. But
okay.
Past albums, CPs, we definitely performed a lot of my stuff out there. And let me tell you, man, it's, listening to it is one experience, but when you actually see me out there performing, man, it's a whole different game, man. Because when I go on stage, I turn into a whole different being. And I shock a lot of people sometimes because they think I'm like a shy guy, but then when I get on stage, I'm playing the guitar with my teeth. I'm on the floor rolling around. I give it my all, man.
That's dope. You never done like a Warped Tour or anything like that?
I would love to do Warped Tour, man. That's they're associated with bands, right?
Yes, they are. Yep. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with it. Yeah. I don't know what's going on as of yet. I know South by Southwest, they cancel a lot of things. Like we be having like situations around the country. Like I know they did Sturgis, that just happened, and then people got like messed up from that. And I'm like, man, but you can just put the information out there, let them know that the music is out there. It's it's available. And promotions and stuff like that. But I just want to see the artists perform, and I'm like, I'm being more hungry for it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait. You know, because when it's time to do it, I'm going to bounce everywhere, like, to see performances. I love to see artists perform music, even if it's just not like, just with a microphone and DJ. I'm talking about like with a band or something that's like, actually the art of performing. That's what it's called, a performing artist. And I get this from what you're doing right here, man. And I know watching you, just seeing you perform or be on the stage and do your thing is going to be like, worth the price of admission right there, man. So definitely, hats off to you, man, what you're doing. Do remember Ricky Persaud Jr. 1.com. Come get some of that right there. Twitter, also Ricky Persaud, man. All right, you guys, it's RICKYPERSAUD. the number 1.com. Follow them up on that as well. The music is out there on all major downloads, everywhere you can find it. So you go to your you can actually buy music on YouTube too. Amazon, we're also Spotify. Whatever you buy your music from, you can get it on your video game, on your phone, whatever, man. Download it. You probably even got like a ringtone. You got a ringtone for it?
Not yet, but you just gave us a good idea.
Don't do that, man. Yeah, man. Look into that. That's what we do here. It's your man, Mr. Stout, Skiing Beats radio show right here on Spreaker.com. All right, so we got some more things coming up as well. I want to get into this track right here for NYOB, but if you had anything you want to let the people know out there right now, saying about what Ricky Persaud Jr. is about, let them know, man.
Well, I'm just about bringing people together and just spreading messages of positivity and equality out there, because especially now we need that kind of music. We need those kind of messages to uplift people instead of putting them down, and that's just what I'm all about: positivity, and hopefully the world will be at peace one day.
Yeah, I feel that wholeheartedly, man. And see that's how Jersey do it, man. I'm just telling you, see, Jersey boy, see that, man. He's positive, you know what I'm saying? Having a good time. Jersey in the building, man. No doubt about it. Ricky Persaud Jr., man. You guys come get some right there. The track is called MYOB, Mind Your Own Business. That means so much on so many different levels. You know what I mean? Like, this song is dope, man. We're going to rock this joint right here, man. Thank you so much for calling us up. Do you got anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I guess my family for putting up with me during quarantine with me, yelling, because my home studio is within our house. So when I'm doing takes, I gotta tell them, hey, shut up. I'm doing my thing. So that's being cool.
That's so funny. I record myself. So like when I hear noise, I'm like, oh, I can't get it. People trying to tell me things to do. They're like, well, you should do this. Like, put this over the mic and do this. I'm like, no, it doesn't work because the door slams and stuff like that. It's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. For me, it's my dad chopping up meat in the kitchen. Because, my dad's like the loudest person in the world for some odd reason, but,
Oh, that's dope. I like that too. I love it, man. Yeah, that's so funny, man. Yeah, but I mean, you're doing it with the family. This is the best time to be around family and get to know each other even better on that growth level that we all got to be at, man. And you're doing it, bro. This is, and I'm really happy that we had this opportunity to speak to you, man. We're gonna let people know what's going on with you, from what we can do here, man.
Thank you. Yes, that's most definitely.
All right, guys. Do remember Ricky Persaud, man? Come sit in. Ricky Persaud Jr. MYOB. Come get some of that right there. You know where to get it from. All right. So we're going to have it posted up as well on Skiing Beats Radio, on also a Ken of Stout right there as well on my local and Stout all the way up, Mr. Stout, man. So you guys come get it as well. And, let's turn up. Yeah, man. MYOB. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, man. Stay safe and stay healthy, man. And hopefully we'll be able to meet one day in the future.
Yeah, man. I'm going to be out there in Jersey. Like, I'm going to keep coming back over there, but we got some things, man. I actually want to let people know what's going on with you over there at the when we get to the Stone Pony. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let them know what's going on with that.
Yeah, man. I love that.
All right, yeah, you got it. You got it. Here's the track right here. Ricky Persaud Jr. MYOB. Come get some.
just to steal your crown. Oh.